Sometimes you gotta admit that you're not good enough. I think recently I've come to a conclusion that I'm actually not as good of an entrepreneur as I have seen myself to be. And the reason why I'm coming transparently, literally, to you guys, because like I said, we're doing daily uploads, daily motivational, like a daily journal, whilst we're building the reaction channel. But there's gonna be a segment where you guys can also see me personally develop in real time. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause I don't think anyone's ever done that before. If they have, well, I'm not the first of the party. Do you know what I mean? But in saying that, the reason why I've come to that conclusion is because if I was as good as an entrepreneur as I thought I was, then I would have the results that I desire. And I feel as if though a lot of us, we get comfortable telling ourselves lies that were amazing at our craft, that were the best about, that we deserve absolutely everything, and we become entitled to success that we haven't put work in for. We become entitled because we've only been told by society to basically want the best of the best by putting in little to no results or little to no inputs, basically. Now, in me being transparent with you guys, is also me being transparent that as I've come to this realization, the next question is how bad do you actually want it, and are you actually willing to put in those inputs to actually get to the desired place? And I don't know about you guys, but I am. Is the reason as to why I'm committing to 3 videos at least every single day, whether they perform well, whether they don't. But the entire learning curve of this, me doing these mindset downloads, than me doing more so, reactionary videos, than doing maybe a bit more edited type of videos. What it's doing for me in real time is that it's allowing me to learn way quicker than I would, for example, if I was to literally just do maybe 1 video a week. I'm getting a feedback loop way quicker of the type of content I need to produce, how to get things I like. And I'm pretty sure you guys are seeing it in real time. In fact, I challenge you guys, you lot that really lock in with me, the few people that watch these videos, go back to my first video and you'll literally see me with I think I was using like a DJI camera, right? In the studio, literally just there. The audio wasn't necessarily the best, etc. And it didn't visually look as appealing. And of course, those type of videos may come back. Let's say, for example, I'm traveling or I'm out and about and I still need to commit to doing these videos. At the end of the day, I'm pretty sure you guys would rather me upload than obviously not and be in a perfect environment. But fast forward to today, I'm starting to understand different workflows. I'm starting to understand, okay, cool, if I do certain things, I set my mic up in a certain way, use like my Apollo rather than using my Focusrite for my engineers and my audio guys. Put some plugins on there before it even gets into the system. Leverage AI because my main jug anyways is AI and also marketing. So there's so many skills that I understand from that industry that I can literally just bring into the content creation space and build up my personal brand way quicker than a lot of other people that don't understand the skill set that I actually have. Make sense? Another thing, simple things like lighting, having that light up there, having another light that's literally over here. Do you know what I mean? A light that's all like, there's so many things that I've learned in this short period of time of just me uploading 2 to 3 videos a day, long form, and then also 3 to 5 short form clips as well. In this period of time is allowing me to grow out of my comfort zone, and at the end of the day, your success is on the other side of the discomfort. A lot of us want the best things in life. We want to become rich, but we're not even willing to put in the work to become rich. We want to be perceived as rich and obviously flex for the IG baddies and flex for the people around us and flex for the people on ends rather than actually do the thing that actually rich people do. I feel as if though we have a misconception in saying that rich people don't spend, etc. No, these guys be spending, bro. They be spending. Do you know what I mean? Every single person I'm around that's on peas, bro, they love luxury. But the thing is that what they spend on is things that is actually wealth versus things that us man be spending on. Someone gets rich, the first thing that we're doing is getting a bust down chain, getting the watch, etc. And who knows, maybe it's not really my style anyways, but maybe in the future, who knows, I might get a bust down and stuff like that, who knows, right? But do I really desire one? I'll probably just do it for the bench, you know what I mean? But what, for example, wealthy people will now do is that, again, their watch collection, instead of it being a bust down, they'll be getting like a timepiece instead. They'll get certain assets so that that asset can then be put into dumb decisions like having a mad car collection, for example, because they already know the cash flows in the background doing its thing. You know, a lot of us say we want the physique, but we're unwilling to wake up early and get in the gym to eat. Like, my diet has always been the biggest thing I've struggled with ever, right? Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm pretty strong. You know, I can bench well over 100 kg by myself. If I want to do like 120, 140, or even 150, I do need to get spotted. I can't lie, but 100 I can do that by myself. I think leg day. I did leg day yesterday. I was doing 255, I think, kg leg press. Then hack squat, I did like 160, but I was a bit tired, so I couldn't do as many as I usually do. So fit, like, strength wise, man's good, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm quite strong. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of having that physique and having the health of saying, you know what, after this, man wants to go and run a 5K, or man wants to, drop down and give 100 burpees, or actually have real fitness that's going to sustain you past not only your 20s, but into your 30s, your 40s, and building for longevity. I don't have that at the current moment. Let's say spirituality, connecting with the Most High, being in your prayer life, being on your meditation, journaling as well, all these different things, bro. In terms of building a personal brand, for example, am I doing enough volume and actually getting my face out there so people are familiarized with me and they understand that, you know what, when you go to Okiki or Samuel, he is this type of person, He's someone that has mad interest in music, because music is my life at the end of the day. But at the same time as him being a creative, he's also an entrepreneur that can help people in terms of generating leads and in marketing and sales and things like that. Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I actually watch those type of videos and spend more time on my business, things like that, more than even music, because I feel as if though music is just something that comes natural to me. This, on the other hand, in terms of building businesses and things like that, building like this platform, being the personal brand, etc., and pushing myself out of the comfort zone, is things that excite me. It's not necessarily the biggest passion, but it excites me. It's just like, okay, how far can I really take this? How far can I scale my business? How far can I get, clients? What type of results can I get from my clients? I told one of my clients, for example, the other day, to change one or two things within his content. Changed it, and then he got the most views within his content that he's ever got. And I believe his follower count literally just doubled. Now, what we got to realize, we're not chasing just vanity metrics. We're chasing the views because his product and service is a high ticket offer. So when the right type of people basically see it, which is of course how we cater the scripts and stuff like that, see it, guess what happens? They DM him and be like, okay, cool, how can I join your program? Or how can I get coached by you? How can I do this and how can I do that? So the type of views that we're leveraging, the type of content that we're creating is catered to generate him a shit ton of money. Do you know what I mean? So that's when I realized to myself that, bro, at the end of the day, you're not as good as you say you are. And even though inherently, subconsciously, I know I'm the best and I'm going to operate like the best and do everything in my power to actually become the best, it doesn't come without putting in the amount of work that's required to actually become that. And sometimes it requires you being in isolation for a period of time, separating yourself from friends, separating yourself from even family, separating yourself from pleasures, and separating yourself from all the things that could actually distance you from your goal. We're not saying cut them off completely. I used to be the type of guy when I was younger that's on the vibe like, look, I'm gonna cut off with my friends and do. Nah, bro, that's stupid. You know what I mean? You still got to check in and do whatever you need to do. But the amount of time that you spend giving out to other people, the amount of time you're spending on these social media platforms, the amount of time you're spending in your distractions and feeding yourself with consumerism rather than becoming a producer. And I don't mean that as a music producer, which I am, but a producer, which is someone that, let's say, for example, content creation. Instead of you consuming, create content. Instead of you, for example, being the type of person to purchase an iPhone, learn how to actually buy a stock, for example. You know what I mean? An Apple stock. Get your money up. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many decisions that we can actually make in order to actually become better individuals. And yes, even though there's going to be a lot of clips and a lot of reactions and things like that, that is vanity, At the end of the day, I've come to a conclusion that sometimes people, in fact, not sometimes, majority of the time, people just want to be entertained. I'm in the entertainment industry first before, any other industry, you know what I mean? So people want to be entertained, and that's just what it is. But further than that, let's say, for example, when this channel eventually gets to, I don't know, 100K subscribers, that's like my first goal, you know what I mean? When it gets to 100K subscribers, and eventually, it's doing the type of numbers I want it to do and stuff like that, it's going to get to a point where someone's going to, out of those 100K people, for example, maybe 0.5, even 1% of them are going to come back to a video like this and be like, oh shit, bro actually said it, Oh shit, bro's actually way more in depth than all these other guys. And I fuck with him because of that. Oh shit, like bro's on this and he knows about that. Okay, cool. Let me tune into everything he's doing outside of just the entertainment value and the shock factors and all this type of stuff. Did you get it? So that's the importance of me just journaling and basically just being transparent with you guys. And every single day, I can't lie to you, sometimes I'm on a vibe like, bro, I can't even be bothered to do these videos because I know that it might not perform as well as obviously the other videos that are, reactionary and updates and news flashes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, when I get DM'd from people and they're on a vibe like, bro, I can't lie to you, locking in, bro. Like, keep on doing your thing. Bro, that gasses me, bro. It gets me going and it gets me on a vibe of like, okay, I'm in the right direction. And guess what? It's different, bro. It's different. You can only exceed in life when you're unapologetically you. At the end of the day, I've accepted, bro. I'm different, bro. Do you know what I mean? I'm different. I'm different. Like, when I got into, for example, music in the beginning, everyone was just like, bro, why is this guy working like a madman? Like, why? Like, why is he so passionate about this? And it worked out. You know what I mean? If I stay consistent solely in music, I can almost guarantee that I probably would be one of the biggest to do it at the current moment, because every single person that I gave the same game plan to and I was working with and I inspired or we were in a team, for example, everyone's just doing great things right now. And that's not me saying their success is credited to me. I'm not that. Yes, I'm confident, but I'm not cocky, you know what I mean? Like, me displaying all these things and talking my shit isn't because I'm cocky, it's because I'm confident and I know my ability, bro. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. Now, they're all doing their thing, they're mashing words, etc. You got, for example, shout out Nathan, for example, doing this. Bro was literally unlocked all of the Infinity Stones, bro. Literally. I remember early days when I used to say to bro, you are actually going to be the best producer to come out of London, bro. I see it. You know what I mean? And back then, I don't think bro really perceived it. I don't know, who knows, right? But now, bro's worked with everyone. He's worked with Dave, he's worked with Sench, he's worked with Bigger D, he's worked with, you know what I mean? They'll just keep collecting Infinity Stars. It's craziness, bro. You know what I mean? There's better people I can mention, but obviously I don't know whether they'll be comfortable me mentioning them or not, so just keep it stepping. When I segued into property, for example, people were so confused as to how a music guy could go from music into property and scale that fast. And I didn't get any handouts, bro. Like, it was just pure grind, bro. 16 hours a day. I had to literally take time off of music because I was like, nah, this is the play. This is what I'm on. And I patterned, bro. You know what I mean? And naturally, obviously, it's my first time in, you could say, business, innit? So I made great headway, but also made great mistakes. And also outside that, of course, things went out of my control. I've talked about it multiple times in this channel, so it is what it is. Yeah, man. And in this next phase of me now obviously just building a brand and building basically a media engine just around myself, alongside obviously my companies as well. Broski, this is just me on the next phase and the next chapter. Who knows, in 10 years, man might be like, that was very stupid what you just did. You know what I mean? Who knows? But young. We're young, we're lit. And guess what? Do you know how crazy life is, yeah? You can wake up, you can pour yourself into a business venture, into something like that, risk everything for it, and guess what? It might not pay off. But guess what? You've learned bare things, you've learned lessons, you've done everything in your power to become a better individual and actually reach for those, reach for the stars. And in that pursuit, some people are allowed to defeat them. But guess what? I think one thing that really helped me here was really like reading books, listening to podcasts, and actually understanding how successful people became successful, bro. Every single person in every single industry, some people might say content creation, for example, is easy, but I'm pretty sure if you were to ask a Kaiser Nat or a KSI or a DDG, for example, look, how much work did you actually put into this? And you go back into the early videos, see how they put blood, sweat, and tears into their craft. Go into the music industry, ask anyone, like someone like a Drake. I know people hate on Drake, but bro, he's the best in our generation, bro. In terms of numbers, in terms of the amount of summers Broski gave us, etc. It is what it is. Ask the big three, maybe a Drake, a Kendrick, or a J. Cole. Like, bro, how much work did you guys actually put? Bro, they'll look at you and be like, my nigga, like, it was crazy. Athletes, people in the corporate world, like any industry that you see people are heavy hitters, them man had massive failures. But guess what? In those failures, they eventually aspired and carried on going, carried on going, carried on going, carried on going. And I think it's either JP Morgan or it is Winston Churchill or something like that. One of the two, anyways. He was saying that the successful person is the person that's able to keep on moving enthusiastically despite any like setback or fall or anything like that. And bro, that's just life, bro. That's what it means to be. Bro, these guys that are successful take more risk. It's as simple as that, bro. Take massive risks that are calculated, stay consistent, have grit and mental toughness, cut out distractions, and keep on going. That's all it is. Alex Amosi always said volume negates luck. I was gonna call this one volume negates luck, but I just started it off as, you know what, mine's actually not good enough, but guess what? I was going to end up becoming the best, you get it? So, my people then, that's today's mindset download. Need to get ready for the day. Got quite a lot of things ahead. And yeah, man, if you guys rock with this, all I need you to do is just literally leave a like, literally leave a comment, share it with a friend that you feel as though they need to hear this as well. Because as I'm building, all I'm actually doing with you guys right now is that instead of me building in private, I'm building publicly now. If I documented my come up from day zero on like YouTube, on Instagram, and obviously TikTok wasn't around back then, or like Twitter, or even a YouTube, I just said YouTube twice. I feel as if though, like, people actually deep that, bro, this guy's actually a bit mad, you know, he's different still, you know what I mean? So all I'm doing is that, again, through the years of me being an entrepreneur and trying different things out, winning, failing, etc., I'm just putting it out and building it on these channels, you know what I mean? The reaction channel, the business channel, etc. And yeah, bro, we'll see, man. We'll see who's right. We'll see whether I'm right by betting on myself and doing everything in my power to basically get to that point, or we'll see whether the enemy's right. And who's the enemy? It's not necessarily the devil. You know, when you're in tune with God and you're doing everything in your power to grow your relationship with the Most High, then in reality, like, you're flying. You get what I'm saying? Good things can happen, bad things can happen, but he's got you regardless. Regardless. That's something I've had to learn. Like, you know what I mean? It's hard to learn, it's hard to understand, but he's got you regardless. So, not really like, I'm not talking about Satan, or for my Muslim people, like Shaitan or whatever you guys want to say. Some people say the universe. Broski, for me, is the Most High. It's God in it. I'm a Christian. Now, the enemy isn't any of that friends or this or the enemy's within, bro. The enemy's myself, bro. It's the lower version of yourself where you're like, instead of waking up early and going to the gym and doing everything you need to do, you lie in. The enemy is, instead of posting and staying committed to posting 3 times a day because you said you're going to do it, not because of the metrics or anything like that, is posting once a day and basically being like, oh, no, I give up again. You know what I mean? So stay consistent, my guys. Share this with anyone that you feel like needs it. And I'll make sure to see you guys in the next one, which is tomorrow. Sharp. I also, guys, let me know if you guys want me to post on a consistent time, whether it's like maybe a 7, an 8, a 9, or whatever, because I kind of just freestyle, but it's always before at least 11. You know what I mean? 11 a.m. GMT. So, yeah. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.